So today we're going to talk about how you as a guy can come across as not creepy. According to me as a woman, I'm going to try and share this as best I can to encourage and give you guys confidence to say hello, to say something next time you see a girl that you're like, dang, I would like to talk to her. So I'd love to hear what you think. I know a lot of you probably have some personal stories of times when moments were not as gracefully received. And this is also a message to women, if you're watching, to always be gracious, I think. You know, if a man has approached you in a nice, polite manner, we should always try and be gracious, because that just helps us to show that we respect one another as men and women. And hopefully we'll encourage more interactions that could become something, who knows? And I'll tell you, so I was grabbing a coffee at Pret and I saw this guy who was really handsome, and he kind of made eyes with me and I made eyes at him, and it was just like a really nice, you know, cue kind of moment. I was waiting for my black Americano, he was waiting for whatever he ordered, and I was like, I wonder if he's gonna talk to me. And also I thought, oh, maybe he's just smiley, or maybe he's just making eye contact because he met my eyes accidentally, I don't know. But I left that coffee shop disappointed in myself that I didn't maybe smile at him more or invite that conversation more, disappointed that he didn't just say hi, and I just was like, a little frustrated, I suppose, that maybe that was a potential chance gone. So I suppose I want to encourage us to try to be more social, to say good morning, to smile at people, to do this in a way and not come across creepy, but to reintroduce just socialization, just being a social creature, community, all of these things. Firstly, it's probably quite useful to define creepy. And I really want to say that creepy is not like a look or a vibe. There's something about like an intention, an intent, a pace, and about respect. Because inherently most women aren't afraid of men, but what we are afraid of is feeling cornered or pressured or rushed or unseen, you know, unsafe. And that is why the first principle of not being creepy needs to be presence, not pressure. So if you see someone at church or at a party, or even in the street or the library or a cafe, know to approach calmly and grounded, and don't have this energy of urgency or this feeling of like impressing or performing. I think the most confident and attractive thing a man can do is when he approaches and somehow exudes this aura of, I'm okay either way. I'm gonna shoot my shot, but if you say no, that's completely fine. I'm gonna be fine. I know my worth. I know my worth as a son of God, and that's totally fine. There's something really attractive and very freeing about that, because if a guy approaches you with that kind of energy, you immediately feel not defensive or not like, oh, he's pressuring me or he's going to spiral if I say no. You just feel safe in whatever you want to answer, whether that's yes or no. Principle number 2 is that context also matters a lot. So think about the situation that you're in and make it situationally appropriate. You know, if you're at a debate or like a presentation or a speech or something, you can obviously talk about the topic that's being spoken about because that's a common interest already. Or if you're at a book launch or a restaurant, you know, there's something that is going to be a commonality, which is going to be an easy opener for you. And I'll give you some very specific contextual openers that just feel very human, because ultimately this is it. You're just trying to have a conversation with another person. So you could say something like, hey, I noticed you mentioned if, you know, you've been in a group scenario and you're now trying to talk to her one-to-one and you heard her say something really interesting that you want to flag. That shows that you were interested, you were listening, and you are observant, which is attractive. Or you could go deeper and say something like, I liked what you said about, and that works really well in the context of maybe you guys are at a conference or something that's had a Q&A and she asked a question and you were like, oh, that was really interesting, I'd like to get to know her more. Or if you are just in a coffee shop and you have no real opener, you could just say, hey, this might sound really random, but I saw you from across the room and I just think you look really interesting. What are you working on today? Or what are you reading? Or whatever it is. You know, try to contextualize it, especially when these are in public spaces in the daylight. It's a lot less potentially creepy because the woman feels safe, she feels like she's in a public space, she can leave if she wants, but it's also nice to just have that opener that feels natural and conversational. And then principle number 3 is to let the woman co-create the moment with you. And what I mean by that is you want to see mutual energy. This isn't meant to just be a monologue from you. So some signs to continue is that she turns towards you or she leans in. That's a natural body language cue that this person's feeling comfortable. They're feeling absorbed in the conversation. They want to know more. Another sign is she asking you questions back, or is it just you asking her, kind of prodding her her for information and answers, and she's not really having like a two-way conversation with you. Because the moment she's like, oh yeah, I'm reading this, how about you? What's the last great thing you've read, or whatever it is, that's a real sign that she wants to continue that conversation with you, and she's inviting that deeper conversation. And then another sign is that she expands her answers. They're not short, they're not just yes, no. She's going into detail, she's giving you color, she wants you to know more about her. While on the flip side, the signs to exit gracefully are, you know, if she's very short with you and she is just giving you those short answers, or she's closed in her body language, maybe she's folding her arms, or she's leaning away, or she's kind of putting distance between you, or she's kind of turning away from you with one half of her body. And then lastly, the sign that she's probably not interested is there doesn't seem to be any interest from her, no curiosity from her. She's not asking you questions, she's not trying to find out more about you. It's very much just politeness and coldness, and that is probably a sign that you want to leave gracefully, confidently, with your head held high. But I know that there may be some questions around, well, what about pursuing? Like, I keep hearing that as a man you're meant to pursue. And I think there's something really important in understanding persistence versus pressure, because persistence respects freedom while pressure tries to override it. So for example, if you are spamming her in her DMs or the comments and she's not writing back at all, you're just applying pressure there, and that can feel really forceful. It doesn't feel free, it doesn't feel persistent, it just feels a bit creepy. While if you are, you know, continually trying to drop hints and she's picking some up, then maybe you want to continue to persist. But then as soon as there's a sign that actually no, she's not interested, that's when you walk away with grace, and that just communicates safety, that communicates freedom, and everyone feels respected in that scenario. Because remember that confidence doesn't chase, it invites, and attraction will always grow where freedom has been respected. And maybe we have to have a mindset shift that the goal isn't to win, it's to connect. Like, even if you connect with this person in conversation once and you never actually see each other again and it doesn't amount into anything, that was still a connection with someone who was made in the image and likeness of God, and it still deserves that awe and that reverence, even if that person's not your person. And I think if we approach every single interaction and conversation like that, you never feel like anything's a waste of time. And also, if you're able to root your confidence and your inherent worth in God, then it's never going to harm your confidence. It's never going to make you feel shaken or rejected or low. It's just going to be like, well, that was a really nice conversation. That was 20 minutes. You know, I got to meet someone else who was unrepeatable and made in the image and likeness of God. Never a waste of time. And hey, if you have misread a moment before, that is human. We can't read each other's minds and we don't know. But also, I hope that this encourages you to just say hello more often, to start with an opener, to open a conversation, because you never know where it's gonna go, right? Like, if you see a girl in the queue who you think is pretty, just say hello. Even if you say hello, I can guarantee you that that's not going to make her like annoyed or anything. Even if she has a boyfriend or she's not interested, it's still nice. You said hello to a human. So I'd love to hear what you think. I know a lot of you probably have some personal stories of times when moments were not as gracefully received. And this is also a message to women, if you're watching, to always be gracious, I think. You know, if a man has approached you in a nice, polite manner, we should always try and be gracious, because that just helps us to show that we respect one another as men and women. And hopefully we'll encourage more interactions that could become something, who knows? So let us know in the comments below what you think. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe to Salt for more Christ-centered content in this dating journey that we find ourselves on. God bless, and I will see you in the next one.